What's going on? It's your man Terance J. I am the host of Radio Therapy with Terance J each and every Friday night on the Radio Therapy Network, and I am here. We are doing another episode of Marriage Therapy with my wife Tamara. What's going on?
Hello, Facebook Live family.
And I don't want you guys to get the name confused in marriage therapy, like we try to tell people what to do, how to do it, like our ways are right. These are just some of our opinions, some of the things that we do, some of the different conversations we have, scenarios and situations. So this is not a situation that we're trying to say, oh, well, we're better than this, or we know how to tell you right. No, we
are not experts by far.
No, we just want to make sure
learning as well, that
you guys are able to maybe glean something off of something we went through, or a scenario you might have went through. A lot of us go through similar scenarios, but we don't always talk about them. So this episode that we're going to talk about is parenting, giving your kids the tools that they need to succeed.
Yeah.
And so we had a situation where we have a young daughter who is she's taking dance class, and we've had conversations with her about protecting her body, not letting someone come in and touch her inappropriately. And so now she had a situation where the dance class said, okay, well, we're going to wear the leotards, and she used to wearing the leotard with the dress around it. So she was uncomfortable with wearing the leotard without the little skirt around it, because she said, well, hey, you guys have told me to protect my body and don't let someone touch me in inappropriate places, and now I'm just kind of like, I feel like I'm showing them I don't have the protection. And so we had a conversation with her, but see, the main thing, first of all, I explained to her that I was proud that as a kid that she was able to come to me and say, hey, I'm uncomfortable about this. And that she knew, hey, this is my body, and I want to protect this. And because
even prior to just the dance, we've had several conversations, discussions just about her body, period, and being an advocate for herself, and making sure that she is to be a lady, at all times. And so I think a lot of that also had to do with kind of the situation from this morning as well.
Yeah, so she didn't want to wear that, so she came to me first. And this is, the beauty that we have in, being husband and wife and being both involved. My first thought, I said, you know what? I'm daddy. Daddy is here to protect you. You don't want to do it. You don't want to go to that class. We're cutting all dance classes. We ain't got to worry about it. But I said, wait a minute. I said, let's go talk to your mom. She was, as a little girl, she was a little girl. So let's see what she says about this, because I was ready to pull out a dance class and say, listen, you don't want to show your body, baby. You think that's too much. We ain't going to do it. The reason being is because I didn't want her to feel that I came to, what's going on, Tanky, man? We're doing good. And shout out Fred Willis, and I also saw Brian and a couple other people on here. But I didn't want her to think, hey, I came to you for protection, and you said, girl, put that thing on and get on out there. Because then where did she turn? And we see so many situations with the Michigan State scenario, the gymnastics doctor, now even the swimming doctor, where all these kids went through these situations where they were pretty much feeling that I have to do everything an adult tells me to do. And so that's not the case. Yes, there's a level of respect that we teach we should have with everyone, but I don't want her to feel that, well, an adult said do it, so I'm going to do it. And so, and I told her she got it honest. For myself and my wife, as a kid, I was very outspoken. And so was I. And so I remember, playing football, your high school coach, he's God, he's everything. And I remember being on the field, and I did something. He said, all right, Jackson, I already don't like you. I looked him right in the face and said, I don't like you either. The feeling's mutual, coach. Right. What? And everybody looked at me like, I can't believe you said that. What can he do to me? Nothing. I was fortunate enough raised with my dad. I wasn't scared of being able to say, listen, this is how I feel. I can tell you in a respectable way, this is how I feel. But I didn't want her to get to a place to where she felt that I came to daddy, said that I didn't want to wear this, and he said, get on out to that dance class and do it anyway. So that was one of the main things. And so I guess some of the information or the idea we wanted to pass on is you have to give your kids that power, that authority to know that I got to protect myself. I have to make sure that, you know, if this is all good, I'll tell you what, call my mom, call my dad. If they give the green light, we'll go. But just because you said it, if my gut is telling me otherwise, then I'm not going to do it.
Right.
So what are some of the conversations that you guys had as a mother to daughter about just protecting your body?
Well, just learning who you are as a woman. We've had many discussions about that. And she is, and let me back up. Today's age and how we're parenting our kids now, there are many still kind of in that closed box, kind of what we were talking about last night. And you are not sitting down and equipping your kids appropriately, you know, for them to be able to maneuver in this world. And so some may agree, some may not, and it doesn't matter if you do or you don't. But for our household, for our 7-year-old, and really even previously before 7, I want to say maybe at 4 or 5 years old, we have talked about lady parts, your vagina, and a male part and their penis. So we're teaching her those things so she's aware of it and she knows the scientific names and what's appropriate, what's not, what has God created for us to enjoy sexual things later on as you're married and everything else. But we are teaching her those things right now and equipping her with that so she knows. And so because of that, she is, you know, becoming an advocate for herself. She is being able to voice her opinion and how she's feeling, and that's important for us to know and to be able to, you know, back her up and know that she's supported. Because if you don't, you have those kids that are in vulnerable positions, like the gymnastic ladies. I mean, that was going on for years and years and years, and because this is your element and it's something that you love so much, you feel like you're disappointing your parents or whoever. But at the same time, we're not protecting our kids, you know, we're not equipping them with the things that they need. We're just sending them out there to the wolves pretty much. And so for us, we have many conversations with our daughter for that.
We got a comment here by Tony Manning. Said he just talked to my kid's dad about our kids being outspoken because as a child we were taught to be seen and not heard. So deep down I had a voice, but I wasn't able. Mama, please, I'm trying to do a video. My God. So
Mama, try to go.
I know. So with that being said, you know, that's one of the main things that we're saying. And even I question that. One of the things I think we've done in the black community with that you need to be seen and not heard mentality is, have you ever wondered why a lot of times our kids can't formulate a sentence? A lot of times our kids can't have a conversation with someone older than them. It's because
we're not parenting. We're not sitting down and having a conversation.
You got to talk with your kids, not at them. And so, and you know what, before I had a child, I went to a garage sale one time. My mom said, hey, they're selling some TVs over there, go check them out. So I went by there. A little white kid came out, about 8 years old, and I said, hey, are you guys selling some TVs here? He said, well, I'm just house sitting right now. The owners went to go get something to eat, but if you want to wait around for about 10-15 minutes, they should be able to come back and help you out. I looked at this kid like, wow. He just had a conversation with an adult.
Right.
That, you know, little Nook might be like, I don't know what to tell you.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? I don't even know, man. And I was like, the thing is that you have conversations. One thing my mom, she was a big advocate on, even when we were little, and I saw her doing this with other people's kids. She was like, don't baby talk. All that goo gaga. You ever heard a 6-year-old talk and they like, I just don't want to.
I need you to be able to articulate.
Exactly. You could. Another thing you couldn't do, my mom, is you couldn't pat her because she said, I'm not a dog. You need to speak. Don't pat me. And so you allow your kids to you train them to do that.
Absolutely.
But I'm just saying, we want to give them the techniques and the things out here because as much as we want to protect them, we're not going to be with them at all times.
You're not protecting them by closing them up in a box and not exposing them to this real world.
True.
They need to be able to deal with real situations. They need to be able to have grit. They need to be able to handle a no, to get back up. All of that, they need to be equipped to handle and maneuver in this world appropriately. What did he say?
Fred said, we didn't baby talk, we spoke in full sentences.
Right,
now
Fred!
Now they talk us to death.
Right.
in full coherent sentences.
Yeah, that's us too. Yeah, we have adult conversations with our little 7-year-old. Yeah,
but you know what?
That's okay. We'll take it.
Here's the other thing. We got to look at just the trend of life. Right now, with so much technology, we text, we do all things,
Yes.
you know, the human contact is not here. What we have to understand is that going forward, one of the biggest skills that's going to be coveted is people who can communicate and articulate a thought. Now, you can get people in front of a computer to be able to sell whatever product that you want to sell, but you're still going to need somebody there to be able to get that crew in order, how to motivate them, how to sell them. Right. The human element is I guess losing footing in this world. That means that skill is going to be looked for going forward. So as much as we losing it, as much as if you have that skill, and one thing I told my daughter, I said, listen, the one thing that is never going out of style is the ability to have a human-to-human contact, you know, speaking with somebody, motivational speakers, or even like as in a supervisor or a manager role, to be able to do that. They're going to be looking who can do this, because everybody else has their device to their face and they don't know how to communicate.
They don't know how to express themselves, period.
Exactly.
I mean, not even just communicating with someone else, just finding out who you are. Sometimes you need to talk to yourself. You can't even talk to yourself because you're so consumed with the video or the social media. I mean,
someone said speak over yourself. You got to
speak over yourself. Encourage yourself. Speak over. But you need that. That is needed. It's a necessity for sure.
Yeah. So that was the biggest thing. So we went through that this morning.
Yeah.
And I want to create a platform or I don't want to say platform. I want to create a space in my house with my daughter to where no matter what, you know, here's the funny thing about it. Not too long ago, you know, it was mommy and daddy. And she said, can I talk to you guys?
Yeah.
And we said, okay, what is it? She was like, is it okay if I just say mom and dad? Right. You know, she had to start to reach a little.
No, I'm sorry. I digress. But I did. It affected me. I was looking at my husband like, oh my gosh.
Wait a minute.
She's growing too fast. I like mommy.
You kept your chin up in front of her?
I did.
Was like,
but I
okay,
cried
baby.
when she left.
Okay. And then you went to the room like,
I did.
So, but that was her taking a step and growing up.
Yeah.
And so just think about it. To have most kids have the mindset they don't want to hurt or disappoint mommy and daddy.
Right.
So when she said, listen, I'm going to go and ask, they told me to come to them and ask them anything I want.
Yes.
I'm going to go to them and ask them, can I call them by something else? And so we had to say, okay. Yeah. Now, the fortunate part for me is still daddy. But
I know.
But
well, she goes back and forth though. She doesn't even realize that she still says it. And sometimes I can like on the inside, like, yes, she called me mommy today. Yes. But you know, the big girl in her is mom.
Yeah.
But the baby girl in her it's mommy, and so you know, I like mommy.
So, but she knows she can come to us and talk to us about anything. Yeah. She knows that she has a sense of security when she comes and talks to us about whatever's going on, whatever something happened in school. Like I said, even in this case, I don't want to wear just a leotard without a skirt around it. I'm just not comfortable doing that. And she knew she can come to us, and we wasn't going to say, girl, you do what we tell you to do. You do. No.
And the funny part though, when you called me like, well, Taylor needs to talk, and I came in and I was like, at first I was gonna approach it like, oh my goodness, here's the dramatics, here's the girl thing. But then she was like, no, mommy. And I was like, okay.
No, you said, come on, you said, come on, let's get it. She said, I said, well, hey, we need to talk.
Yeah.
And you said something. She said, Mom.
Yeah, she did.
No, we need to talk.
Yeah, we need to talk, Mom. And so, and I, you know, you have to kind of sit back, because that is what we're teaching her. You know, we're teaching her to be vocal, to use her voice. And it's something that we talk about daily, about using your voice and the importance of using your voice, and the importance, especially for her being a Black girl, you know, and how society already looks at us and have these perceptions about us. It's important that she knows that her voice is powerful. So this is just a discussion that we usually have, and sometimes you're teaching your child that, and then they're using it on you. Sometimes you got to kind of step back and, you know, and kind of just allow them to advocate for themselves in a respectful manner, but allow them to advocate for themselves and experience and get a sense of that, you know, my voice is powerful, and for them to continue, you know, using their voice and not stop or be discouraged and giving up. So you don't want to feed those types of nuggets in them. So
exactly. So we hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Marriage Therapy, and we'll try to keep coming. Listen, I'm trying to bring my wife along with it.
I'm here. I want you just to embrace me being here. Yeah. Okay. Everything. Stop talking about it. Like, oh my goodness.
I want you to do the videos.
I am doing the videos.
Yeah, but you were like, do we have to do another one?
Well, yeah, because it's like becoming more and more and more, and like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm busy. Like, I got stuff to do. People to see ya. All that.
We sitting right here with nothing to do.
Well, you know, I was going to look at the back of my eyelids. You know what I'm saying? I was going to catch a nap. You know, a girl's tired. I've been working all week.
So, before we get out of here, Tony Webb, this is so true. As a grown woman, I can't talk to my mom still. And the scene in I Heard mentality, she was...
stress. She was the reason of my stress or stroke, I guess.
Oh,
I can relate, Miss Tony. My mother too was also she was raised with that generation, you know, be seen, not heard kind of thing. And so that is something that I was extremely passionate about breaking. And so here I am, and I've always, as a little girl, like my husband was saying, I've always been very vocal and shared what I felt and how I felt it. How my husband said I sometimes put a flower on it versus in comparison to him. But my mother was that way as well, and it's just not going to be. I'm not continuing that lineage. You know, I want her to voice her opinion, and I want her to do it, of course, in a respectful manner. But it is important for her to know that she is powerful and that her voice is powerful. And I don't want her to be closed mouth and letting things happen just because. No, she will not be part of that lineage. So yes, I can relate to that, Tony.
Exactly. So, hey, we got to get out of here. We do appreciate you guys. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube, please like our page, subscribe, and we will come back to you with more topics, more things. If you have anything that you just want us to talk about, I don't know if that's on your mind.
We're pretty transparent.
Yeah, we try to be.
We try to be.
Yeah, so we try to be. So, like I said, again, it's just something for us to be able to talk. Maybe you guys can spark some conversation between you and your spouse, or the parent of your child, or whatever the case may be.
It is detrimental. Yes, it's detrimental to the generation. Absolutely.
Exactly. Everything your parents said was not right.
No.
They told you don't sit too close to the TV because you're going to mess with your eyes. About that. And now you got your phone 1 foot from your face, and ain't nobody went blind
my
yet.
Eyes were 2020 with my contacts. But that came from generational. Hereditary.
Get away from that TV. You going blind. Right. How they know? TV wasn't out that long. Ain't nobody had no study saying TV was going to make you blind.
Right.
And we all got our iPads and phones half a foot from my face, and I ain't seen a blind person yet.
Yeah. Not yet.
They didn't know. They just said what they heard somebody else said. All right. So, see you guys later. This is Marriage Therapy. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.